presentation. Hi everyone. So today's topic is Workbench. Let's see. So basically using the Workbench tool. Workbench is the web-based suite of tool of an integration with the Salesforce API. Now, in case if you wanted to for example, Workbench is there is multiple purpose we will use it. If you go to the Google and search for here Workbench, search for Workbench in the Google, search for Workbench. No need to install the Workbench, just it is a online. So this is the URL for the Workbench. This is the URL for the Workbench. So Workbench is the web-based tool. It is only web-based. It is not for interacting with the Salesforce API. It's not for a desktop version. It is a web version. Web version used to interact with Salesforce API because you need to connect the Salesforce. This is only sales. If you want to download, you can also download it. You have an option to download. So Workbench is a free to use, but it is not officially Salesforce.com product. Whether it is a web version or a download, you can use it a free. But this is not delivered by the Salesforce.com. It's not a Salesforce.com product. It is a different Workbench tool is a different product, but it's a free version. Workbench is used by the administrator, developers, consultants, right? Anybody who is working on the Salesforce, anybody can use the Workbench. So Workbenches can be used by the multiple people, even client internal team. If they are doing any data loader or anything that they wanted to check in the Salesforce, they can check it using the Salesforce Workbench. Take a notes of it. Workbench is a web-based tool and it is not a Salesforce.com product. It is different product, but it is a free version. Anybody can use the Workbench. Who is working in the Salesforce, anybody can use the Workbench. Now using the Workbench, first you have to go to this URL or else you can search in the Google. Once you search in the Google, just click on this product API version 58. So this is the current Salesforce API version. Right now, Salesforce API version is 58.0. So API version, and if you are agreed to the terminology, whatever this is there, if you are connecting to the production, select the production. In case if you are connecting to the sandbox, select the sandbox. Now click on this. Now here is the environment is a sandbox. API version is the 58.0. API version is 58.0. Right? So right now we are connecting to the production. Either you can select this or else you can hover this on top of this icon. Hover this top of icon, which is going to show you the login, settings, logout, help, about. So here you need to click on this link and hover the Workbench and it will show you these options: login, settings, logout, help, about. Now let's click on a login. Environment, select the environment. If it is a production, select the production. If it is a sandbox, select the sandbox. And the second thing is API version. Which one do you wanted to use it? Latest version is 58.0. So, and then we have I agree to the terms of the services, and then click on the login with Salesforce. Now let's say here I'll click on this, click on the login with Salesforce. Click on the login with Salesforce. Once I click on the login with Salesforce, usually it will ask you the credentials. Now like this, it is going to redirect it. when you click on the login to the Salesforce, it will be redirected to this page. You need to enter user ID and password. User ID and password, click on the login. So once you click on the login, now this is the screen that is getting shown. Now here it is displaying the April batch at Samskar IT on API 58.0. API 58.0. Right, so because I have already logged into this Salesforce org in the same Chrome, I have only one org is connected. So that's the reason when I clicked on the login to the Salesforce, automatically it is connected. Now let me log out here. I'll click on the logout and click on logout. Now again I'll click on login. Once I click on a login, now here and what I'm doing it, I'm clicking on this production because developer org is the production org, API is 58.0, and then click on the login with Salesforce. Click on login with Salesforce. Now here is, this is what asking you, right? Now if you wanted to use the, whatever the April batch is there, right? So this is the April batch org. Now click on the login. Once you click on the login, it will be redirected to the workbench. Now here it is the April batch, Samskar IT, which is the username, is the April batch, instances, Samskar IT 13, org ID, user ID. Those are the details which are displayed. So this is the Samskar ID 13, right? And if you want to confirm the org ID, go to the company information. Company information. In the company information, we have it org ID. So copy this org ID and search here Control F org ID. Now, whatever the org ID is there, it's the same, right? It's ending with DK5. That's the same one, right? Is everybody able to log into the work page? Has tried it. Workbench logging into this. Whoever is having the laptop. Okay. How about others? Okay. No. Fine. So Workbench tool has a 4 menu items. The first one is the information, queries, data, migration, and then utilities. If you go here, we have a info, queries, data, migration, utilities. On top, 4 menu items are there. On top, 4 menu items are there. Info, queries, data, migration, utilities. 5 options we have. 5 options we have in the workbench. Now, these items, what is this each one? Let's see. Info. In the info, we have a standard and a custom object. Standard and custom object. Metadata type and components. Session information. Session information. Now here is the 3 options, standard and custom object, standard and custom object, metadata type and components, session information, session information. These are the 3 details, 3 sub-menu options are available inside the info. Now, inside the queries, we have a SOQL query, async SOQL query, saucer search, streaming push topic. In queries, we have a SOQL, which is a Salesforce object query language, and async SOQL query, and saucer search, streaming push topic. Now the next one is a data. Inside this data, we have a insert, update, upsert, delete, undelete, purge. Right? That means data is all talks about the regarding the either inserting the record or a updating the record or a upsert the record or a delete the record or a undelete the record or purge record. So data is similar to the data loader. Data is similar to the data loader. Query is where I'm fetching the data from database. Where I'm fetching the data from database. Info is if you wanted to know any information of the data inside the Salesforce, then you can know the standard object, custom object details, you can know the metadata, you can know the session information. Now, if you click on here session information, it is going to give you what is your session information. Right? We will see those all later. Now, this is the data. Data will have a insert, update, upsert, delete, undelete, purge. And then we have a migration. In the migration talks about the either deploy or retrieve. Migration is deployment related information. Migration is deployment related information. Either you are deploying to the or you are retrieving the information And the last one is a utilities. The last one is utilities. Utilities have it's mainly used, this one is for the API integration. This is mainly used for the API integration. So REST Explorer, Apex Execute, Password Management, Bulk API Job Status, Metadata API Process Status. API Process Status. So REST Explorer, Apex Execute, Password Management, Bulk API, Job Status, Metadata API Process Status. These are the options which are available in the utilities. Now, these are the different things which we can perform. So, in the workbench, I can perform to know about information, Salesforce information. I can query the data, I can pull the data from the database.com, and I can perform the data loader using the workbench. Also, I can perform the deployments and related to integration. I can use the integration related work also. I can use it workbench. I can also use it workbench. Now, let's see each one of them. For example, right now I'm clicking on the standard and custom object. When I click on a standard and custom object, it will ask you to choose the object to describe. That means we have so many objects in the Salesforce. Now, if you specify account, what it does, it is going to pull all the related account information. Now, let's expand this. If you expand it, everything gets expanded. If you collapse, everything will be collapsed. Right? Now here, legend it says true, false, custom fields, system fields. System fields. Now click on the collapse all. And if you want to clear cache, you can clear the cache. Now here it is a expand. Now if I say expand, what is happening? It is going to give me the attributes. It is going to give me the attributes. Now, wherever the legend is available, now it's a custom, is it a custom? False. Now, these are the different attributes. Now, let me close this attributes here. Now, inside this, we have a, now let me close this one. Is somebody taking over? Now, here if I see the fields, inside these fields, now I have a fields, 73 fields are there. Account number, active, annual revenue, all these things, right? So this is the custom field and these are the Salesforce field and there is a few system fields are there. Whatever this color is there, this is a system field and this is a active, this is a custom field. Now like this credit card details, custom priority, these all are custom fields. Like we can know that how many custom fields are available inside the account. Total 73 are there. Total 73 fields are there. Now if you open this account number, now there is some information related to the account number. These are the different attributes. These are the different attributes inside this account number field. Right? What is the digits or is it a lookup field? No, it is not a lookup field. Now, what is the label name? Account number. What is the length of this? 40. What is the name of the field? Account number. Is the name field? No, it is not a name field. Is a nullable. It's a null. Yes, it is true. Permissionable. Anybody can access this. Yes. Right, like this, we have a Salesforce defined few attributes within this. Again, the account number. Again, the account number. Is it a custom field? No, it is not a custom field. No, creatable. Yes, it is creatable. Case sensitive. It is not a case sensitive. Calculated. No, it is not a calculated field. Right. Byte to length. How much? 120. So is it a auto number? It is not a auto number. So like this. At the front end, if I go to the Salesforce, if I go to the object manager and let's click on the account. If I click on the account, if I see the fields and relationships, simply I can see the account number, right? There is a simple account number is there. But maximum I can see 4 to 5 attributes within these fields I can see. But how many fields Salesforce is holding? So many fields Salesforce is holding the attributes within the single field. Single field Salesforce is holding the so many attributes. So these everything you can see here, right, is about the fields. Now in case how many child relationships does the account has? Account is relationship with the how many objects. Now you can see all the objects here. Assert, account, partner, right? In the account parent ID is there, clean info, contact role, change event, right? Case, attachments, assert, right? Email message, events, contract, flows also we have a flow execution error event, invoice billing account ID is linked, lead, convert account ID. There is a converted account ID is there. You can use the converted lead account ID, stores the lead information, lead change event, right? In case if you wanted to know notes, open activities, order, partner, code, payment method, refund, right? Service appointment task, user, voicemail, work order. All these things are connected to the account. Total 130 objects. Total 130 objects inside this Salesforce. Account is having a relationship, build a relationship 130. That means account is the parent, child objects are 130 objects which is holding. 130 objects are linked with account, parent account. Now, what is the record type? How many records do we have in the account? We have a master, partner account, individual person, customer account, right? Now, if I go to the account, duplicate on here. Now, if I go to the account object, click on this tab, account, click on the new. Now we can see here customer account, individual person, partner account. Partner account. The same thing we have here, customer account, individual person, partner account, master is a by default. Now if you open this customer account, there are so many attributes are there in this record type. Is this customer account is active? Yes, it is active. Is it available? Yes, it is available. Default record type mapping. Is it a default record type mapping? Yes. What is the developer name? Customer account. Master? No, it is not a master. Record type. What is the name of the record type? Customer account. What is the record type ID? This is the record type ID. Similarly, you can go to the master. Master is it active? Yes, it is active. And is it available? Yes, it is available. Now, default record type? No, it is not a default record type. What is the developer name? Master. Now, master is true. Name is the master, and this is the record type. Right? Like this, you can know the information of the standard and custom object inside the workbench. Now, the next one is the metadata type and components. Metadata type and components. Click on that metadata type. Now, it is going to ask you the which metadata type you wanted to see. Now, Apex class is there, right? Apex class is there. And also, workflows is there. Validation rules are there. Validation rules are there. Now, most of the information, we have it. That in case if you wanted to see up visual force information. Now I'll click on these Apex pages. Right, we have so far implemented the component, 32 components we have implemented. 32 visual force pages we have implemented. Now these are the Apex pages. Apex pages is nothing but visual force pages. Now if you click on this first VR, now what is the first VR? Who is created? This person is created by name, this person. When it is created, right, in the June month. What is the file name? First VF.page. What is the full name? First VF. What is the ID of this visual force page name? This is the ID. Who is the last modified? This is the person. Last modified details and manageable state unmanaged, right? And the type is Apex page. Like this, it is going to give you the information about the each visual force page. Who is created, who is modified, what is the ID of that visual force page, and how many visual force pages do I have? How many visual force pages I have? Now, type description is generic information. This is a type description. Now, XML name is Apex page. XML name is Apex page, right? This is about the type description. Then we have a component type. Metadata type and the component. Metadata type is nothing but whatever the logic that we are writing inside the Salesforce, everything it will show you. Now, for example, you have a workflows. You can include here workflows. Click on this workflows. How many workflows we have implemented? 5 workflows. This is about the metadata. This is about the metadata. This is the case, implemented case, and this is the type-based workflow, and the contact also we have implemented. So this is talks about the component details. Metadata is nothing but what are the logic that we have implemented. If you wanted to know the logic of that, then you can click on that particular information and you can see the all the metadata information. All the metadata information. Like for example, profile. Only profile you wanted to see. So basically all the information in order to functionality to work inside the Salesforce, whatever is required, you need a Apex page, Apex classes, profile, right? Sharing rules, workflows, whatever is required, those all information you can see here. Those all information you can see here. Right, Lightning component bundle, Lightning experience, the message on board. If you wanted to see what are the list views are there inside the Salesforce, you can see all the list view. So basically everything, including everything you can see here inside the metadata. What is the options? What is the right now which is available? If I want the functionality to work in Salesforce or currently whatever is available inside the Salesforce, show me all the details, all the metadata details, show me that. Now, if you wanted to see the flows, you can see the flows here. These are the flows that we have implemented. These are the flows that we have implemented. Same, it is going to give you the created by, last modified by, what is the type, what type of flow it is, everything it is going to give you the information. Unmanaged is nothing but can be editable. Can be editable by the developers. Right? Now, This is about the flow. Now this is metadata type and the components. You select a metadata and it is going to give you the components list. It is going to give you the component list. That's about the metadata types and components. Next one is the session information. Next one is session information. In this session information, what is the connection details? What is the connection details? If you wanted to know the connection details. Now, API version is 58. What is the client ID? Workbench 58.0. Endpoint is whatever the org ID is there, that is the endpoint for this session information. Who is the user? If you wanted to know the user details, now this is the user details and their profile. What is the currency they are accepting it? Dollars, right? And what is the language and local time zone? What is the time zone? Right? Everything we can know about the user. Even organization details, if you organization detail, this is the organization details. Now you can search here, this is the organization which is connected, right? Which is a 15 digit from the account in the company information, it is stored as a 15 digit. If you wanted to get the 18 digit, you can get the 18 digit here. Now, for example, you hover on this, wherever the hyperlink is showing, if you hover on this, it is going to ask you a couple of options at the below: update, delete, undelete, purge, view in Salesforce. Now, if I say view in Salesforce, now it will open in the Salesforce. Now it will open the company information in the Salesforce. Now this is the company information. Right? So here we have the information. Now here organization multi-currency, false, organization name is Samskar IT. And then metadata. What is the metadata? Organization name space and partial saved alone test run. Right? So these are the informations which are available. Now, this workbench is able to access only these information if you are able to connect it. If you are able to connect to the Salesforce. If you are able to connect to the Salesforce, then only you will be able to access. Now, if you do not access this, now if I click on log out, if I click on log out, you will not be able to see anything. You will not be able to see any of those options. That means if your Salesforce is connected to the workbench, then only the API has been implemented. That means if I do not have any API connection, I do not have any API connection. For example, now here I have it. Let's assume that we have a Salesforce and this side is a workbench. Both are independent application. Now this is a Salesforce application which is a independent. This is a Salesforce application which is a independent. Now here it is a workbench which is a independent. Both are working their own way. There is no relation into this. But as soon as you mention here the Salesforce credentials, as soon as you mention login, when you are clicking on the login and you are specifying the credentials of Salesforce, when you provide a Salesforce credentials, now what will happen? That means as soon as I provide a Salesforce credential here, click on the login button, Salesforce is implementing the connection to the Salesforce. As soon as I click on in login, there is a backend connection that gets enabled. When the connection gets enabled, then what Salesforce is going to do? Salesforce is going to restrict some kind of information, because when I connected this, that means now through the workbench, they can access the Salesforce information inside the workbench. They can access the Salesforce information within the workbench. That means we are opening up the access to the workbench. That means there is a lot of security is dependent on that. Lot of security is dependent on that, because we are sharing everything, entire metadata we are sharing to the workbench. When it is open to the workbench, when I click on the login, I can see all the information. That means what is happening as soon as I click on the login, Salesforce has implemented an API. Salesforce has implemented an API, which is nothing but a integration, either Salesforce or a workbench team. Workbench team both combinedly they have discussed and they have created the API, which is nothing but integration, which is nothing but integration. Now, when the Workbench and Salesforce work together to implement the API, to implement the integration, there is a discussion which happened on security. What kind of a security we can provide? Because we cannot share entire information of the Salesforce. Entire information of the Salesforce. Only maximum information we can share it. So based on that integration, there is a security is implemented between these two. Security is implemented between these two. You cannot track any other sensitive information that is available in the Salesforce. It will not provide any sensitive information to the workbench. Only wherever it is a you think that is a mandatory, only that information shared to the workbench, not the sensitive information. There is a sensitive information and normal information, and there is a some which is not a sensitive, but it is okay to share. Informations are there. Wherever it is a sensitive information, those information will not be shared to the workbench. Only the general information, non-secure, or okay, if I can share it, that ID, that's okay, that should be fine. Nobody can hack it. So in case if those kind of informations are there, those can be shared here. So this connection is already built between the workbench and Salesforce. There is already the integration is already built it here. The integration is already built, right? So it is already implemented. The integration is already implemented between these. That's the reason when I click on this, I agree. Now what it is saying here, Workbench is a free to use, but is not an official Salesforce.com product. Workbench has not been officially tested or documented. Salesforce.com supports not to available for the Workbench. Now they are restricting that Workbench, we should not be using it. But in case right now in the real time we use it, support requests for Workbench should be directed to the status.stack workflow. Now if you open here stack workflow, stackexchange.com questions stack Workbench. In case if you have any Workbench, open this and you can ask any questions here related to the Workbench. So this is the Salesforce Workbench Stack Exchange. Now here you can ask if you have any questions or if you wanted to go through anything, you can go there. And source Workbench can be found in this is the actual Workbench which is available in this. Actual Workbench which is available in the GitHub. In the GitHub, it is available, it is an open source, and they have already implemented the logic. They have already implemented the logic. The integration is already implemented here. The integration is already implemented. So the local development, or if you wanted to go to security or anything, if you wanted to see, you can go ahead and view that. Right? Either you wanted to go to the documentation, or if you wanted to go to the script, or if you wanted to go to the workbench, inside the workbench. Now, if you wanted to see what is the static URLs, and is there any configuration, you can use that configuration, or if you is there anything information is available, right? Profile ID, then build documentation, images, local development, what are the scripts, what are the workbenches available, and there are so many things. XML is available, web.xml, where the script is available if you wanted to know the script. So this everything is already documented and implemented by the workbench. Now it is right now we are connecting to the Workbench 58.0.0. Now if you want to go back to the previous version, you can choose the any of the version. But right now the latest version is API 58.0. Now click on this login. Once I click on this login, this logic, whatever is available in the GitHub, this logic get executed. This logic get executed. Once this logic is get executed, now I can able to connect it. Click on the login. Authorization is happening at the backend. Authorization is happening at the backend. Now I'm able to connect to the Samskar ID 32. Now we have it open to this. Now he is requested in 1.343 seconds. So this is the performance. This is the performance and this is the workbench. Now here it is a select action to perform. If you wanted to go to the standard, now on top we have a all information, but combinedly if you want to suddenly, instead of clicking on this info and going to the stand object, you can also choose here jump to. If you want to jump to the stand object, you can use the jump to, which are the option you wanted to open. Right. So for example, right now I wanted to jump to the metadata types. Metadata types, or if I wanted to go for Apex execute, you can go for Apex execute or stand object or custom object. Now you need to choose the stand object and custom object. Click on the select. So ultimately it is going to the stand objects and the output. You can see this information. That's about the standard and custom object, metadata type and component session information. Session information. Now the next one is queries. Next one is queries. Now they also have implemented the logic which has to be discussed in the Salesforce database. Workbench is implemented a logic where it will be talking to the Salesforce database. Salesforce database. Here it is. Asynchronous socle PHP, asynchronous socle define query PHP. They have written the logic into the PHP. They have written the logic into the PHP. So socle, and the sourcer, whatever the status is there, everything they have written. Now, what is this socle query? Socle query is nothing but I have a database. I have a database. In this database, now we have a Salesforce database here. This is the workbench. This is the workbench from this database. Salesforce database. Salesforce database. From this Salesforce database, what we are going to do is we are going to pull the record to the workbench. I'm going to pull the records to the workbench. So from here, I have a different tables or different objects I have in the Salesforce database. Now what I can write some code and I can click on the execute button. When I click on the execute button, what will happen? It is going to bring the data from here to the workbench and it will display the data into the tabular format. It will display the data into the tabular format. Now let's see here. Now this is the queries. Now here it is giving some kind of a alert. Visual Studio Code is now included the socle build. Now it is included the socle build. Using the Visual Studio also you can perform the socle. Right. So right now we have it. Choose the object fields and criteria. Now here it is the option. Let's understand each one of them. This is about the object details. This is about the object details. What are the each object? What are the each object? Now I have a multiple, all the objects you can see. Now the objects which are not, you cannot see here, those objects also we can see there. Those objects also we can see. For example, here objects are starting with account. But however, this workbench is going to show you that before the account also there are few more objects are there. But these are hidden. These are not required for the user interface, but it is required for the developers. In case if the developer needs it, they can go to this, any of these objects. Now here I have an account object. When I choose the account object, whatever the fields are available inside this object, I can view all the fields here. I can view all the fields. This is the fields information. Whatever the fields are I have, I can view all the fields. Now view as. This whatever the view as is there, this view as is a output. This view as is a output. This is output. Now, when you run the query, how you wanted to see the output? How do you want to see the output? Do you want to see the output in the list, that means a tabular format? Or do you wanted to see the output in the matrix which we have seen in the report? So matrix format, or do you wanted to see output into the some kind of a bulk CSV file, or do you wanted to see the output into the bulk XML? When you select a bulk CSV, bulk XML, you can download the CSV. You can download the data. Now these two options will have a download the data. So this is how do you want to see the output when I click on a query. When I click on the query, how do you want to see the output? Now, the next one which we have is, do you want to include the deleted records or do you want to exclude it? What are the deleted records are there? Do you want to include the deleted records also? That means deleted records, recycle bin, it will be there. How long it will be there in the recycle bin? Whatever we have deleted, the records, how long it will be there in the recycle bin? Others, 15 days or 30 days? Which one is right? Maximum it can store up to the 15 days. So in the recycle bin, it will be there up to the 15 days. And in case if it is available in the database, it is going to bring the deleted records. If you say exclude, I do not want to get the deleted records, then you can simply say that excluded. Now the next one you have is sort result by. Sort result by. This sort result by is basically how do you want it to show your output. Do you want to see the records in the ascending order, descending order? If you wanted to see ascending order or descending order, by based on the which field do you wanted to see the ascending order or descending order? By which field do you wanted to see ascending order or a descending order? Do you wanted to see like a active checkbox A to Z, and the null first and the null last, or if you, whenever you have a null first, you wanted to see the null first. If you wanted to see the ascending order or a descending order, what is the maximum records that you wanted to see? So those sort by. Filter by. Now filter by is, for example, I wanted to see only the information wherever the rating is, wherever the rating wherever the rating is equal to 1. Only I wanted to see only those records. Only those records I wanted to see. See, as I'm typing here, it is automatically taking the information. It is automatically taking the information. Whatever I type here, rating equal to 1. Automatically it is taking select account, whatever is there. Right? Now let's go ahead and write the logic in the. Now let's say here I wanted to take the not the account number I wanted to take, account source I wanted to take, account active I wanted to take, annual revenue, billing address, billing city, and then email address, description, industry, and let's take the phone number, rating. You need to hold the control key and select it and the record type. Now that's all information I needed. Click on the query. Click on the query. Now what is happened? The output I wanted to see in the list, right? This is the list. This is the list. It is displaying the query in the list. 14 records we found it in 0.260 seconds. 0.260 seconds. And these are the account number, and this is the account source, rating, active, revenue, billing, and finally rating we have mentioned all the warm details. So here what is happened here till this point, from the account it is pulling it. From the account it is pulling it. Where is nothing but filtered by, where rating equal to warm. Where rating equal to warm, and then ordered by means sorting. Ordered by active ascending order, null first. Whatever the active fields are there, all the active fields, ascending order, all the null values will be displayed on top. And then below it will display the whether it is active or not. Right, this is how we write the query. For example, if I take a custom object, let's take the custom object. Now I have a custom object of, for example, I have a hiring manager. Hiring manager. Now let's take the hiring manager. Now inside the hiring manager, now I wanted to choose. Are you guys able to hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Okay. So guys, check your network. Now here, location equal to, let's say, maybe if you wanted to order sort by, I'll say here, sorting order I'll take based on the current CTC. And then filtered by is going to take, probably I'll take the filtered by, let's say email address is not equal to null. Email address not equal to null. This is the where condition. Now, what are the fields that I wanted to check? I wanted to check contact number and the current CTC designation, email address, and the location. Right? Click name, click on query. Now it is going to execute it. Now here is the, I'm displaying the data output as a list. Output I'm displaying as a list. Now here is the location, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, all this information, it is displaying it. Now city name, null first. What is the city? Current CTC is the current CTC. I am doing it from the ascending order. So it is displaying all the lowest current CTC is first, and then it is displaying the highest numbers. Now this is in the list format. Now if I say matrix format, click on the query. Click on the query. Both columns and row must be specified in the matrix field. That later, now let's go for the bulk CSV. If I click on the bulk CSV, now click on the open query, click on the query. Now when I click on the bulk CSV is going to allow us to load. Basically bulk CSV, when I select it, if I click on the query, there is a batch that gets executed at the backend. Batch that is get executed at the backend. Now if you see this is the job that executed at the backend for the bulk CSV file. Now here status is closed. How many records are processed? 8 records are processed. Batch queued is 0. Object is a hiring manager. Record failed is 0. Batch in progress is 0. Now operation is a query. And what is this path that we have executed the mode? And batch is completed. How many batches completed? Only one batch is completed. And what is the API version? 58.0. Is there any failure on the batch? Which is 0. In case if you see any failure, you will see here there is a error. Now in case if there is a batch is still in progress, then you will see here batch is still in progress. Or if it is still in the queue, you can see it is still in the queue. Now API processing in the 0 minutes. Whenever I click on the bulk CSV, there is an API integration that executed from the backend. Integration that is executed from the backend. Now here it is the Apex processing 0 minutes and total processing 0 minutes. Created is 3:26:33 AM. This is as per the organization time and this is last modified time. How many times it retried? 0 times. And this is about the job details. This is about job details and this job, right? This is job that got executed. This is a job that got executed. Now using this job also, you can query the data. You can query the data. Now let me show you that. Now this is the job and here it is the ID. Now if you wanted to download the batch request, if you want to download the batch request, click on this, and total 8 records. If you hover on this, what is the API processing time? The integration processing time is 0 minutes. Apex processing time is 0 minutes. Apex is also, there is a business logic is also that got executed. Business logic is got also executed. Now, when I'm running the query, in between this, we have a business logic. In between this, there is a business logic. Now, this business logic, it will take what is the query is written here, and it will process that data to the business logic. It will process the data to the business logic, and then business logic is going to take the information and it will process to this Salesforce database. From the Salesforce database, it will respond back to the business logic. From the business logic, we are going to see the output here. So that's how the Apex execution is in 0 milliseconds. Within seconds or milliseconds, it is get executed. Total processing is 0 milliseconds. Now click on this, download. Read batch. There is a CSV file that gets downloaded. Now let's click on the open. Now open this CSV file. Open this CSV file. So these are the records. Bulk query underscore result. Whatever the ID is there, job ID, that is a job ID. And here is a what are the details we have. All the details, we are able to pull the details. So it is stored into the CSV file. The name of the file is CSV. Now if I click on file, save as, downloads. Now it is a CSV, CSV file. Right, so this is the CSV file, it is downloaded. Now again, let's go to the SQL query. Whatever we have selected, it is redirected back to the same page. Now if I say bulk XML, click on query. Also process the job. This is also process the job, and this is the job ID. This is the job ID, and this ID is different. This ID is different. This is the job ID. This is the batch. This is batch. Whatever the batch it is processed, that batch. So you can download it, and same thing CSV file, it will be available. So if you click on it, download, it will open in the XML file is downloaded. Now open this XML file. This is the XML file. Now it is opening in the now we have a refresh. There is a bulk query result. I'll open with, let's say, Microsoft Edge. Downloaded, which is a XML file. Which is XML file. Now here we have a query result, right? This is a query result. Records is S object. Type is a hiring manager. Type is hiring manager. City name, contact number. Now this is a each record. This is one record. This is one record. This is one record. This is the second record. This is the third record. Fourth record. Fifth record. Sixth record. Seventh record. Eighth record. And then query result is ending. Now in the each record, it is going to provide which object, what is the type of object, and what is the city name is a null. Contact number, this is the contact number, this is the current CTC, right? Designation is a HR manager, email address is samskarid@gmail.com. Location is Hyderabad, name is Abhijit. Name is Abhijit. Right, so first record is that is the first record. Whatever the Abhijit is the first record, that is exactly it is displaying the first record here. That is XML file. That is XML file. Let's go to the SOQL query. And you can query anything here. So we have so many objects are available. So many objects are available. If you want to query the order, product, notes, right, login information or any information that you wanted to query, you can query the details. Then read information, right, location details, list view if you wanted to query the list view. So what are the list views are available? Just click on that last list view. Now, if you wanted to check the count of it, I just wanted to know the how many list views are there. I just need a count. Let's click on query. Now, the count of the list view records are 430. Now let's go ahead and execute what are the things that I needed. Now I wanted to select all of them. Now I did a control A and last modified, last view, name, S object, what are the system mode, everything I am selected here. All the fields I have selected and this is the data. So this is the created by, who is the created, when it is created, what is the developer name, what is the developer name and the ID. And in case if you wanted to know that SQL compatible, is it a query compatible? Yes, it is a query compatible. Who is the last modified details? What is the name of the list view? Created by me, private reports, public reports, all reports, click on all records, right? All authorization form, all scheduler, all users, and then we have a contact request, all contact requests, right? Everything I can see the information. All the records, I can see it here. Last 7 days record, invoice, all the flows, everything. And this is the forecasting. Next, we have a system mod. What is the system mod? Now, this is the system, whatever the system date is there, it is going to display the system date. Now, if you want to see the more, because there are 430 records, right? If you click on right now, by default, it is display only 200 records. By default, it will display only 200 records. That is the table limit. Now, if you click on the more, now it is going to show us the more records. Now it is next page. Next page is 201 to the till. It is displaying it up to the 400. And again, if we click on the more 30 records, it will be displayed. So it is 30 records. 430 records we have. 430 records we have. All opportunities, pipeline, all users, new this week. Now, if I hover this ID, I wanted to see this ID. Open this, open in the Salesforce. View in Salesforce, click on this. You do not have insufficient access. Now let's say which one I have clicked on. Let's say I'm clicking on this, my opportunity, view in Salesforce. This tool directly redirected to that ID. So what it is doing is it is adding the ID here. Let's copy this ID, copy opportunities. Now here let's select the new this week. And this is the ID. This is the ID. So it is directly adding this is the ID. This ID and whatever we are getting the other ID both are same. Both are same. Control F. So here it is the ID. This is the ID. Right? So this is all the information about the query. Now XML, I'm not going in depth, right? XML we will discuss whenever we are discussing about the API integration part of it. That time we will discuss about the XML. Because that's how it is required for the XML. And matrix, it says that we do not have this. There is some issue here. Both column and rows must be specified in the matrix view. Sometimes if you wanted to make a changes to the settings of the workbench, sometimes if you wanted to make the settings of the workbench, click on this here settings, workbench over this and click on settings. Click on settings. When you click on your settings, now you can see here general options, allow viewing the reports in Salesforce. Do you want to allow this report to view in the Salesforce? If you check this, then only if you hover on that hyperlink, it will display the view in Salesforce. Show ID and action over it. If you hover that, show the action on that particular ID. Alphabets field name. Do you wanted to show the alphabets field name? Now update recent items on the sidebar. Do you wanted to show the updated recent items in the sidebar? If you wanted to show, you can check this. And auto update asynchronous operation. Auto update asynchronous operation. If you wanted to perform the execution of the Circle query or anything, if you wanted to perform in the asynchronous is nothing but parallel execution. Now, if you have a so much of 10,000 records are there, you have a 10,000 records are there. This 10,000 record processing in the single transaction. That means transaction started executing here. It will keep on executing up to 10,000 records. It has to execute. This is a single execution. But if I divide this execution into the multiple process, now you take 2000, you take 2000, and you take 2000, 2000. Right? Like this, I can divide 2000 records. So that means what will happen? Parallelly, the execution is happening. Now here the records are executing, and here also the executing, and here also records are executing, here also records are executing, which will take a less time. Which will take less time compared to the single transaction, which will take less time. This is a single synchronous execution. This is synchronous execution. Synchronous execution is nothing but it will execute whatever the job ID is there. It will execute in single go. It will start here and it's on execution of each one of them. It is on execution of each one of them. Now, if you go to the asynchronous, the parallel execution will happen same time. That means work is happening here parallelly. When the work is happening parallelly, the execution time is less. Execution time is less, which is called as a asynchronous operation. Display the request time. Do you wanted to see the request time? How many minutes or how many milliseconds it has taken to execute the particular API integration, whether the workbench connection or whether it is a SQL query or whether it is a metadata and component type, what are the data you are querying it. If you wanted to see the how much time it has taken from the workbench, if you wanted to see the time, you can see the time of the, what are the request time is there that time. UTC time zone, this is the time zone of the workbench. You can select anything here. We have a UTC, right? Africa or a US, whatever is there, India, America, what are the different things are there, Europe, right? We have a different time zones. We have what are the time zone you want, you can take it. And the time format, you can take any time format, default time format, default time format. What are the workbench time format is there, it will take the same time format. And in case if you wanted to modify your time format, show me in the like a month, date, year, and 5:30 p.m. Or else show me like date first and then month, then year. Or else show me just a what are the month in the numbers, DD slash DD hyphen or DD slash month. What are the month slash DD, month slash DD, MM slash DD. Now here you have a MM slash DD slash year. So this format also it can take it. Whether you want the MM first, whether you want the DD first, also you can decide it. Which one do you want first or year you want a first, everything you can select it. Now default namespace, if you want the default namespace to be connected. Right, namespace of the prefix. What are the namespace that you wanted to connect? Every time whenever you connect the workbench, by default go to this namespace. That means the OR connection. And the text area, number of rows of the query or a search, whatever it is executing, what is the rows that you wanted to display in the maximum number of rows. But if there is a long query is there, how many length you wanted to see? 5. And login options are 58.0. Session is automatically logged out. Automatically pass the session to Salesforce, automatic or always. Never pass the session to the Salesforce. Or do you want always, or do you want to take it as a automatic? Now, which language do you want to go for it? So you can specify any language. And the next one, we have a data management options. Data management options. Now, this data management options are, do you want to enable the smart lookup? That means if you have an insert, if you are doing the insert or an update or an upsert, any operation you are performing it, and you want the smart lookup to be having the options to be shown. Now we will see that. Now next one is the insert null values. Insert null values. Do you want to, whenever there is a null values, we are returning the null values. I'm executing the integration or I'm executing some Apex logic, right? I wanted to see the null values also. Now in that case, you can say insert null values also. Insert null values also. If you want to insert the null values, you can insert the null values. Now here all are a non-transaction processing. All are non-transaction processing. This is about the transaction processing time. Processing transaction. Now do you wanted to follow this? Do you wanted to follow this? Whatever the options are there. Now if everything is processed perfectly fine, then it will process perfectly fine. For example, you have 100 records. Out of 100 records, this will process in the batch, right? So out of 100 records, if you want, for example, 50th record is filled. 50th record is filled. Now, do you wanted to roll back everything? Do you wanted to roll back everything, roll back all changes in one batch unless all the records in the batch are processed successfully? Now, in the batch, you have 8 records are there. Out of these 8 records, 5th record is having the problem. There is a problem with the 5th record. Whenever it's find the problem with the 5th record, do you wanted to process the 6th, 7th, 8th records, or do you wanted to completely roll back all the changes? Roll back is nothing but do not execute anything. Whatever till 1 to 4 got executed, do not do anything on that. Just roll back, revert it. So if you wanted to do that, then you can check this transaction processing. Transaction processing. Now trigger auto response email. Trigger auto response email. If you wanted to trigger any emails, right? What are the actions which are happening? If you wanted to trigger any emails while inserting the lead record or while inserting the case, if you wanted to trigger any email, then you can check this checkbox. Trigger user email. In case if you are resetting the password, right? We have an option to reset the password in the workbench. I'll show that whenever we reset the password or you are creating the new user or you are commenting something, you are doing it on the case or you are modifying the task or something, you are updating it, right? In that case, do you want to trigger user emails? This is a, whenever you create a case, that is a customer emails, that is customer email. So whenever the case is created, whoever is the case owner is there, that case owner or the person is whoever is created, we will be receiving the emails to that person. Now here we are sending the emails to the user. When you are the password creation or password update or you are creating the new user or you are updating the task details or you are creating the task details or you are modifying or updating something on the case, then you and trigger other emails. Other emails are basically whenever you perform a DML operation. Whenever you perform a DML operation. DML operation is nothing but data. Either you are creating it, either you are creating it, or you are updating it, or you are modifying it. Anything that you are doing it, if you want to receive an email, then you can check this. Now the next one is allow field truncation. In case if the string is too long, in case if the string is too long while performing any DML operation. While performing any DML operation, if you wanted to, for example, in the Salesforce, the name field length is no name field length, the standard field name length. What is the length of this? How many characters can I enter in the name? How many characters can I enter in the name field? So normal Salesforce name field, how many characters can I enter? That is for text. Name field, how many? This is the standard name field, right? How many characters can I enter here? How many characters can I enter? 255. Let's see. Right, 255. So here 255 is maximum I can enter. So here the option is truncation. In case if the while inserting the record, I'll say here name equal to, I'll say name equal to. Now I'm inserting the account record. While inserting the account record, I'll say so many information about the 255. Now whenever I specify here name equal to more than 255 characters, automatically truncate whatever the Salesforce limitation is there. Based on that, it is going to. Now next one is disable field tracking. In case if you wanted to disable the field tracking, what are the changes you needed? If you wanted to disable, you can disable the field tracking. Transfer attachments on the owner change. Now, transfer attachment on the owner change. Now, in this case, what will happen if, for example, you are attaching some notes or some documentation, right? By attaching it, you are transferring to the new record. right? If it is a true, then the records of the notes and attachment and whatever the documentations are there, it will be transferred to the new record. If you say false, then it is not going to be the notes and attachment will not be transferred to the owner. This is in case if you are performing the transfer owner using the Apex. Now transfer open activities on the owner change. This is also same. What are the open activities are there? If you wanted to transfer the open activities to the owner, you can, if you check it, it will automatically transfer. Use the default assignment tool. Now in case if you want to use that during the up, for example, case record is there. So whenever we are inserting the case, while inserting the case, do you wanted to automatically execute the assignment, right? So usually when I created from the Salesforce, now let's go to the case. Now here is the case. Now if I click on the new, now what happened here? If you say send an email notification to the send notification email to the contact. Similarly, we have a option assignment options also there. Assignment options also there. Now there is a one checkbox which will say that on the lead level we have a assigned using the active assignment. While clicking on this lead new record, if I check this, what will happen? It will automatically assign this record to the whoever is the owner based on the assignment rule. Now, if you wanted to execute the same logic in the workbench, then you can say here, use the default assignment rule, check this. So whenever you are creating the lead record, from the lead record, so you have to, in case if you are creating the lead record, whenever you are creating the lead record, if you want the assignment rule to be executed, then you can click on this. Is my voice is clear? Is it problem with the offline students? Online is able to hear. How about the offline students? Is online members are able to hear my voice? Okay, so online members are able to hear. Check the connection in the offline. I'll give 2 minutes, just cross verify whether it is working or not. Are you guys able to hear me? Okay, is that clear? Okay. Now that is the assignment rule. Assignment rule ID is what are the, if you wanted to, in case if you wanted to process the default assignment, you need to provide the assignment rule ID here, right? So there will be a ID will be there in the assignment rule. So you need to provide there. And the territory delete transfer. So this is basically if you wanted the ID of the user, like it's saying that open opportunities will be assigned to when opportunities owner is removed from the territory. So this part is a different territory part is. Now I'll cover the territory part later. No, this is not right now because we need to understand what is the territory. Then we will go to this part. Asynchronous concurrency mode. Do you wanted to process the records parallelly or a single synchronous, or do you wanted to process in the asynchronous? Now the next one is streaming V2. Now streaming V2 is this will enable automatically Workbench is getting enabled this streaming V2. This is basically the end point. This is streaming V2 is the end point. If I enable this so that we can use the endpoint and whatever we are performing the events or whatever we are doing it can be accessible here. The next one is a query search option. Query search option. Automatically jump to the result. Now, whenever we log into the workflow, whenever we are logging to the workbench, there is an option which is showing that jump to result. Now, if you wanted to show that automatically jump to result, now it is going to, when display this query result, the browser automatically jump to top of the query result will be displayed. Now, SOQL queries allows SOQL parent relationship queries. Do you wanted to allow the parent relationship records also? Do you wanted to allow parent records also? For example, I have a account and contact. I have a account and contact object is there. Account is the parent record, contact is the child record, right? Contact is looking for the parent account. Now contact is looking for the parent account. That means contact is the child record, account is the parent record. Right now I'm writing the SOQL query on the contact. Right now I'm writing the SOQL query on the contact. When I'm writing the SOQL query on the contact, I also want to pull the records of the parent. I also want to pull the records of the account. Now in that case, if you want to query the child record as well as the parent record, then you say here allow SOQL parent relationship queries. Allow SOQL parent relationship queries, enable this. And allow asynchronous SOQL UI. If you wanted to execute this, perform asynchronous, then you can say that yes, if you wanted to perform asynchronous. Package version. Use the package version header. Use the package version header. Now this is all about the packages, like whenever, for example, packages when we use it, the packages we use, for example, I have this Salesforce org. I have another Salesforce org. Now in this Salesforce org, this is a Salesforce org 1, this is a Salesforce org 2. Now in the Salesforce org, we have implemented some functionality. We have implemented some functionality, including the objects, right, fields, and validation rules, workflows, so many things which we have implemented. Now I wanted to, that functionality, I wanted to combine all those functionality and pack it. I need to pack that complete functionality, pack it and move it to the Salesforce org 2. That means package version is in case if you wanted to move the certain functionality from one Salesforce org to another Salesforce org, then what we will do, we will combine everything, objects, fields, workflows, validation, visual course page, Apex, whatever is needed, the metadata for in order to execute that functionality, we are going to combine that all the components into one pack and we will build the package, and that package we will push it to the another org. So by installing the package in the another org, simply they can enable some kind of a security, then they can start working on the functionality. So that is if you want to use the package version header, if you wanted to anything you wanted to deal with package, you can use this package version. Next is Apex execute logging options. Apex execute logging options. Apex execute logging options are default log category. Default log category. Do you want to perform the default log category, Apex code, or a call out, or a validation, or a workflows, or a database? which default log category do you want? If you say Apex code, as usual, normal logs will be displayed, right? Apex profiling, we will see that what are the different options are there. When we go for a Apex execute, when we are actually, because if I wanted to execute this right now, I need to know how to write a logic in the Apex. So we are not done that part into the development. Once we are done, then again I'll repeat this Apex execute logging option. Now default to log level, do you wanted to see the default log level debug or a different options we have? Error, only error information do you wanted to see, or you wanted to see only the warning information, or you wanted to see only the information, data I wanted to see, or I wanted to see only the debug details, or I wanted to see only the debug details, or I wanted to see the finer, finest. This we will discuss fine, finer, finest. So fine is nothing but a basic information. Finer is nothing but little more information. And finest is nothing but all the information, including the debug, info, warm, error, everything I wanted to see in the finest, right? That we will see. Now, these are the options which are available in the debug log. Now, in case if you wanted to change anything, you can change here, or by mistakenly you have updated or you wanted to reset back, you can click on this, restore the defaults, restore default. But in case if you have made changes, if you wanted to apply the setting, click on this apply setting. These are the settings which are available in the workbench. These are the settings which are available in the workbench. Now here you have a SOQL query, asynchronous SOQL query. Now asynchronous SOQL query is, now if you want to execute, now there is a difference here. SOQL query is, it is displaying this kind of all the information you can see here. But when you go for a asynchronous SOQL query, it displays in the lightning format, right? So here define the query and define the, look at the view state. What is the view state of the query? For example, I'm selecting here account. I wanted to see the account number, account sales, active, annual revenue, billing address, right? So I wanted to see this email address, industry, and then I wanted to see the rating. Click on this, next. Now, if you wanted to put a filter, you can put the filter or else just run the query. Click on execute. When I run the query, what is happening? It is asking me that choose the query type, the target object, map the fields values, right? So what it is saying that define the query, I'm defining the query here. Target is, what is happening is when I define the query, it is trying to perform the insert record. It is trying to perform the insert record. Now let's say that I'm going to update the record. Upsert is nothing but both update and insert. Or if you wanted to create a new record. If you wanted to create a new record. Now here I have said operation type is insert. Let's say account number. Account number is, I'll specify the account number. Now target object is, let's select the target object is account. Now I'm going to select the account number, account source, active, and then annual revenue, and then billing address, email, let's choose email, industry, I'm choosing the industry, and then I have a rating, right? So this is the map the fields. Now this is asynchronous SOQL query, asynchronous SOQL query. In case if you wanted to modify anything here, for example, I wanted to remove the account source. Back to the source object. Now I wanted to remove this account source. Account source, I wanted to remove it. And similarly, billing address also, I wanted to remove it. Now click on the next. Now these are the options and the target is account, and again select here account number, and then active, annual revenue, email address, and then we have an industry, and then rating. Now assign the target values to the fields. Assign the target values to the fields. This is optional. Let's not select this. Now click on submit. Now what I am inserting here, query, choose the query type. Now I have chosen the query type insert. The target object is account and the map the values here in the account. Now let me show you here in the account I have a total records I have all customers I have a 49 records I have total 49 records I have. So simple filter is all I have a 49 records. Now let's go to the workbench. Now if I click on a submit, what will happen? If I click on a submit, what will happen? Now this feature is not currently enabled for this user type or asynchronous error functionality is not enabled. Async query is error not enabled. Now view state is nothing is there. Basically it is not executed. Why it is not executed? Because in the setting we have a asynchronous SOQL query. Where is the asynchronous? Let's search here, Control F, async. Parallel, let's allow this. Now we have all the informations are available. Now let's go to the asynchronous. Again, let's click on account. Let me take only one value, which is a account name. Let's take account name, and then I'll take the rating. Click on next. Now insert account. Now I have a rating of. Click on submit. When I click on submit, it says that async query functionality is not enabled. The feature, whatever this feature is, that it is giving me the error. Functionality not enabled. This feature is currently enabled for this user or it is saying that currently it is enabled. Now if it is enabled, we will not be able to perform it. We will not be able to perform it. Now for this case, we need to disable the our option. We need to disable option. Go to the setting. Let's search here. Async SOQL. Async SOQL. Where is it? Right, let me say here. Allow async SOQL. Hello, async SOQL. I'm going to disable this. I'm going to disable this. Save, apply the settings. Now let's go to the, no, that option itself is not enabled. That option is not enabled. If I disable this, that option is not enabled. Now I can see asynchronous SOQL. Now I can see asynchronous SOQL. Now see tomorrow how to execute that asynchronous SOQL. Right, so we will see that tomorrow. Now today we have seen the info and the queries, asynchronous SOQL query we will see tomorrow. Now how to execute these queries we will see tomorrow. That's all for today.